His Excellency Prime Minister Dato Seri Mohammad Najib bin Tun Abdul Razak ji, members of the media, it is a great pleasure to welcome His Excellency the Prime Minister of Malaysia to India. Excellency Najib, your visit gives me and the people of India an opportunity to reciprocate the warmth and goodwill that I enjoyed during my visit to Malaysia in November 2015. Your visit also comes at a historic time in our relations. We are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic relations. And Excellency, your personal attention and leadership has contributed much to the steady direction, strength, and vibrancy in our ties. Your contributions have been instrumental in forging a wide-ranging strategic partnership with India. Friends, our links with Malaysia have been civilizational and historic. Our relationship is rich and diverse. Our societies bond at many levels. Ties of cultural and religion provide a strong connect between our people. The contributions of a large Indian community in Malaysia are of a special value. They have not only nurtured our shared heritage, they have also been a strong driver of economic and people-to-people connectivity between our two countries. Prime Minister Najib and I had jointly inaugurated the Toran Gate in Kuala Lumpur during my last visit. Model on the Toran gates of the Sanchi Stupa, this stands as a symbolic of our abiding friendship. Friends, in our extensive conversation today, Prime Minister Najib and I took stock of the full range of our cultural, economic, and strategic engagement. We took note of the steady progress in implementation of key decisions taken by us during my visit Malaysia in November 2015. And we agreed on a shared vision to enhance our strategic partnership, a vision that prioritizes an action-oriented approach. In this effort, deepening the existing areas of cooperation and charting new territory of engagement are among our key objectives. Friends, India and Malaysia have built a thriving economic partnership. In our efforts to scale this up, as the fastest growing large economy in the world, India offers unparalleled opportunities. And to build new avenues of prosperity in our societies, we are ready to expand trade and capital flows between our two economies. Infrastructure has been an area of fruitful partnerships between us. but we can do much more. India's infrastructure needs and our ambitious vision of developing smart cities match well with the Malaysian capacities. Malaysian companies are participating in many of our infrastructure projects across different states in India. Indian companies too are extensively engaged and invested in the Malaysian economy. We are pleased that a high-level business delegation is accompanying Prime Minister Najib. I am confident that the business partnerships that they forge will enhance the level and momentum of our commercial engagement. We are also converging efforts aimed at food security that are linked to the well-being of our farmers. The MOU on proposed development of a fertilizer plant in Malaysia and uptake of surplus urea from Malaysia to India is a welcome development. Friends, the UTAR University of Malaysia has started Ayurveda degree courses in Malaysia for the first time. This is a welcome development. And an Ayurveda chair in the same university is in the pipeline. Its early finalization would further cement our cooperation in this field. Our educational exchanges have always been a strong promoter of people-to-people ties between our countries. The signing today of the MOU on mutual recognition of degrees is a landmark development that will benefit the students and societies of both our countries. Friends, we live in a time and in a region where both conventional and non-conventional security threats are constantly on the rise. Prime Minister Najib and I agreed that these challenges threaten the stability and economic prosperity of our countries and the region, and require us and other countries of the region to work together. In this context, I deeply appreciate our continuing cooperation with the Malaysian government in our joint anti-terrorism efforts. Excellency, your own leadership in countering radicalization and terrorism is an inspiration for the entire region. Our wide-ranging defense partnership has already brought our armed forces closer. We are cooperating in training and capacity building, maintenance of equipment and military hardware, maritime security, and in disaster response. Prime Minister Najib and I are also conscious of our role and responsibility in promoting economic prosperity, freedom of navigation, and stability in the Asia-Pacific region, especially its oceans. To secure our societies and for the greater regional good, we have agreed to further strengthen our strategic partnership to shape an effective response to our common concerns and challenges. Excellency Prime Minister Najib, let me welcome you once again to India. I thank you for very productive discussions. I am confident that our decisions today will drive our strategic partnership to the next level. I wish you an enjoyable and fruitful stay in India. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to request the Prime Minister of Malaysia for his statement.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, ministers, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to visit New Delhi, India, once again. As you know, this is my third visit to your fascinating country since I became Prime Minister in 2009. It also underscores the importance that I've always attached to our bilateral relations with India, and also to the growing role that India is playing as a major regional power. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record my deep admiration for the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, in particular for the bold and courageous reforms that he has undertaken, and for the sterling performance of the Indian economy. I believe we can learn much from his leadership, and it is always a pleasure to meet with Prime Minister Modi and for us to work ever closer together to bring our excellent state of bilateral relations even further. I've described our relationship as a historic high between our two countries, but I actually believe the full potential of our bilateral relations has not been fully realized. So with this visit and with the decisions we have taken today and in the near future, I believe much will happen between our two countries. We discussed a lot of issues today. It will be a very productive meeting. We believe that the strategic partnership that we agreed between our two countries is all-encompassing. We believe that a defense and strategic partnership will be very important for us to fight global terrorism, militancy, extremism, and that includes our fight against IS and against any form of extremism. And for this, we will enhance our cooperation. Prime Minister Modi was particularly interested to know about our success in our de-radicalization program, and I presented a book on our module, and we are willing to work closely together with the government of India for a special conference that will be held in the near future, and we'll provide our experience. And we are partners to make sure that Malaysia and in our part of the world will never be a place in which militancy and extremism will take root in our part of the world. And if more and more countries work together, we believe we can make this world a safer place. I agree with you, Prime Minister, that we have very much in common between our two countries. History has bound us together, actually. If you look in terms of the, not only the contributions of the Malaysian Indians, and that is very evident, but the evolution of the Malay language, for example, takes a lot of words from the Sanskrit. The food that we enjoy, the culture, the entertainment, Bollywood movies, Tamil movies. I've become a fan of Tamil movies since I visited Chennai now, so I'm looking forward to a sequel to Kabali to be shot in Malaysia. So you can see that relationship is all-encompassing, and I believe that the decisions we've made today will bring fresh impetus to that relationship. In particular, in terms of our bilateral cooperation, economic cooperation, the CICA, we decided that we should have a fresh look at CICA, how we can revitalize CICA. We do not think that we have fully realized the potential of CICA, so we will look into areas of rules of origin, non-tariff barriers, custom clearance, and so forth. On RCEP, we agree that I also like to take this opportunity to encourage more Indians to visit Malaysia, and I informed Prime Minister Modi that we have decided to allow for no visa fee, application online, approval within 48 hours, number of stay for 15 days, and multiple entry to be accorded for Indian nationals to visit Malaysia. They can be abroad as well, and they can take advantage of this new arrangement. So this will certainly enhance tourism as well as the people-to-people contact between our two countries. I will also lend support to the other initiatives. Prime Minister, you mentioned about the urea plant, and that's something very significant, and we are fully supportive of that. I'd like to thank Prime Minister for the numerous contracts given to Malaysian companies to participate in construction highway projects in India, and we're willing to take part in your tender exercise so that Malaysian companies on merit will be given opportunity to participate in your development. And we know with the many initiatives that you have, including 100 smart cities, Digital India, Make India, that there will be many opportunities for Malaysian companies to participate, and we are willing to participate on the basis of merit. Prime Minister, education is very important arm of our relationship. We'd like to thank you for continuing to give places to Malaysians to study in India, particularly in the fields of medicine and dentistry. And we believe that this relationship will evolve into a two-way. Malaysia will liberalize our education. Our public universities will allocate 15% of places in medicine, and we believe that Indian students can also avail of opportunities in Malaysia. Prime Minister, we believe that the mutual recognition of degrees will certainly be very mutually beneficial between our two countries, and also recognition of Ayurveda as a form of traditional medicine will certainly become more and more popular in Malaysia. I also like to say that we appreciate the desire of India to play a bigger role in terms of maritime security, defense cooperation, anti-terrorism, and for us to work closely together to ensure that this part of the world will continue to be a region of peace, a region of stability, and greater prosperity. And I believe Prime Minister Modi and I can work together to achieve those objectives. And I'd like to thank once again Prime Minister Modi and the Government of India for the wonderful hospitality, the warm reception, and I'm confident that our relationship will grow from strength to strength and will become a relationship that will be an enduring one. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. that brings us to the closure of this particular interaction. Thank you, Prime Ministers. Thank you, everyone.
We will first begin with the presentation of the report of the India-Malaysia CEOs Forum to be presented to the two Prime Ministers by Tan Shri Krishnan Tan, co-chair from the Malaysian side, and Shri Milind Kamble, co-chair from the Indian side. Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there will be 7 documents which will be exchanged this evening. The first is the Air Services Agreement between India and Malaysia to be exchanged on the Malaysian side by His Excellency Dato Shri Tiong Lai, Minister of Transport, and on the Indian side by Srimati Sushma Swaraj, Minister of External Affairs. The second document is a Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the proposed development of a urea and ammonia manufacturing plant in Malaysia and offtake of existing surplus urea from Malaysia to India to be exchanged from the Malaysian side by His Excellency Dato Seri Uttama S. Samivelu, Prime Minister Special Envoy on Infrastructure for India and South Asia, and on the Indian side by Srimati Sushma Swaraj, Minister of External Affairs. Next is an MOU on cooperation in the field of sports from the Malaysian side to be exchanged by Dato Lokman Hakim Ali, Secretary General, Ministry of Youth and Sports, and on the Indian side by Srimati Preeti Saran, Secretary East, Ministry of External Affairs. The fourth document is a MOU between the Malaysian Human Resources Fund, Peman Kamun Sumber Manusia Berhad, and the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India on cooperation in training to be exchanged on the Malaysian side by Dato CM Vigneshwaran Jayendran, Chief Executive PSMB, and on the Indian side by Shri Dr. Sunil Shukla, Director EDII. The fifth MOU is between Association of Indian Universities and the Malaysian Qualification Agency on mutual recognition of educational qualifications to be exchanged on the Malaysian side by Dato Professor Dr. Rujan Mustafa, Chief Executive Officer MQA, and from the Indian side by Professor Dr. Furqan Kamar, Secretary General AIU. The sixth MOU is between the Malaysian Palm Oil Board and the Indian Institute of Chemical Technology on collaboration in technology development in the field of palm oil to be exchanged on the Malaysian side by Dr. Ahmad Kosheri Din, DG Malaysian Palm Oil Board, and on the Indian side by Professor G.D. Yadav, Vice Chancellor, Institute of Chemical Technology. The last MOU is between MIGST MITE Technology Malaysia and AP Economic Development Board on implementation of the 4th Generation Technology Park in Andhra Pradesh. On the Malaysian side by Datuk Nik A. Faizul Ab Malik, MD MITE, and on the Indian side by Shri J. Krishna Kishore, CEO Andhra Pradesh Economic Development Board. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the exchange of agreement ceremony. I now request my colleague, the spokesperson of the Indian Ministry of External Affairs to continue the proceedings.
Thank you. I would now like to request the Prime Minister of India to deliver his address.